Good morning, and welcome to another edition of BGPS News Flash.
This is where we bring you the latest news in a flash, inform you about how it affects you and makes you think.
I'm Samanu from 6INT.
And I'm Kobe from 6RES. So Samanu, did you hear what happened? MOH is relaxing a few COVID-19 measures.
Yeah, I heard about that in the news. Honestly, I'm excited about this change.
Yeah, finally we're going back to how it used to be, at least almost how it used to be.
It's been so long since we've had learning journeys.
Oh yeah, and competitions. I'll finally be able to compete in sports competitions again.
It's a really good idea, honestly. I mean, COVID-19 has been with us for over 2 years now. I guess it's time to treat it as a normal thing. The new normal. We can't be stuck in the COVID-19 state forever.
Fair point. I guess I can. Oh wait, I just got a notification saying that the government is postponing the opening of the COVID-19 measures.
What? No!
Why though?
Just when we're all getting excited. I'm sure not the only ones who are disappointed.
Maybe there's a reason behind this?
Well, of course there is. Have you seen the number of cases last week? Reached over 26,000 new cases in just a day.
Oh yeah, and a day in the same week reached more than 20,000 cases. Not as high, but that's still a lot.
I hope people don't get too upset over this. They should understand the reason why.
I don't think anyone will, because everybody is so used to this pandemic that they won't be upset over such a small thing. At least I hope. Let's see what our classmates say about this.
How do you feel about the new safe management measures being delayed?
I'll feel very happy because if it was not delayed, there will be a rise in cases very quickly as there are already so many cases in Singapore every day.
I think Singapore is doing a great job by delaying the consumption of SMM because the COVID-19 cases is increasing rapidly every day. So I think we should be more careful and not get infected by other people and wear our masks every day.
Even if the safe management measures were to be dialed down, how would you play your part in protecting yourself and others?
I would still do social distancing because I'm scared that I'll get the virus if it's dialed down because there'll be more spread and a greater risk to get the infection.
I will wear my mask whenever I'm outside and I will maintain a safe distance from other people so that other people will not infect me. I also think that I should see a doctor when I'm sick.
How do you feel about? Well, I guess some people are disappointed about the new change.
At least they'll still follow the safe management measures. How does this affect us?
Well, it seems that the government wants us to get used to living in the pandemic. It's part of our normal lives now. Of course, this doesn't mean that we don't need to be socially responsible. We need to continue maintaining good hygiene and protect ourselves and others around us.
I agree, we do need to get used to living in the pandemic.
Let's link it to our 7 habits now. It links with habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Because even though we're disappointed about the delay in the relaxation of the safe management measures, we need to keep in mind that the government is doing this for our own safety, and it's all going to be over soon.
Now, let's link this to our citizenship dispositions.
It gives us a sense of reality.
We need to accept the reality that the pandemic is only getting worse, and going back to our normal lives will take a long time. We should not get upset over the delay and instead continue to keep ourselves and others safe.
I think it also gives us a will to act.
Yes, it gives us a will to act as we need to remind others to continue practicing the safe management measures.
This also links to our school values, like the school value of responsibility.
We need to be responsible as we all need to play our part in maintaining good hygiene. Once again, this is not just to protect ourselves, but also to protect others around us.
I think this also links to the school value of resilience.
How so?
Well, the whole world is going through a tough time, but we should not give up on hope and persevere through this together. I know we can.
I really hope we tide through these tough times together, and soon enough, they'll relax the measures again.
With relaxed measures, new fun school activities will resume.
Oh, I'm sure these restrictions will not stop us from having fun in school. I heard there's a new challenge coming up in BGPS which will follow all the prevailing SMM measures.
Should we tell them?
They'll find out soon, real soon. But I'm glad the school is still coming up with exciting competitions for us amidst these SMM restrictions.
And with that, we have come to the end of this news flash.
Thank you and goodbye.
Can I see myself? Good morning, BGPians, and we have come to the end of the term. Today is the 8th of March, and today is the 7th of March, sorry, and we have come to term 1, week 10. It is the final week of the term, and you should really give yourself a pat on the back for having come through 9 weeks of school. For the P1s, well done. You have done well to come close to the end of the term. I wanted to thank the two students earlier for sharing with us about the latest measures for COVID-19 and why we should continue to take heart and to keep pressing on with the safe management measures and until they are finally relaxed, because as it was shared by them that all the measures are really meant for good for all of us. And this ties in very well with our school value of responsibility. And over the past 9 weeks, I have observed that many of you have been responsible in your actions. You have tried your best to adhere to the safe management measures in school. And I would like to remind you to continue doing so even for this final week of school, as well as for next week when we break for the March holidays. What are some of the safe management measures that we have been emphasizing? And it's really a reminder to continue to practice safe distancing amongst one another, even in class or in the canteen, and also to remember to continue to put on your mask, because the mask, as we have observed, is a very important piece of covering that protects us from the virus. I also like to remind all of you to continue to do your wipe downs in the classroom after you end the day, as well as in the canteen. Now, I have observed that some students, even after returning their plates and their bowls, that sometimes they forget to wipe down after themselves. So this is a reminder for all of us to practice safety. Let's practice good hygiene and to make sure that we continue to be responsible. I've also seen BGPians continuing to practice the value of responsibility and respect by greeting your teachers and myself along the corridors, and you also remember to bow. So I'd like to encourage you to continue to do that, because that is part of the responsibility of a student. And even if you see somebody along the corridor whom you may not recognize or you may not know their name, it is important to also still continue to greet them and to say good morning, sir, good morning, ma'am, and to acknowledge their presence because they are older than you. Now, with respect to the value of resilience, okay, and as shared by the students this morning, that the school will continue to organize exciting competitions, exciting programs, and exciting activities for all of us. And even as we come to the end of the year, okay, there will be some exciting activities for the P6. Tomorrow, you will have your picnic in the hall. All right, your P6 form teachers will share a little bit more about this with regard to your morning assembly tomorrow when you come. So I encourage all P6s, please try to come early for pre-assembly, because you will be meeting in the hall for your level picnic. You will also be briefed about your kite flying activity for the last day of school. So that's something to look forward to, and to end the year to end the term on a high note. The other thing that you have been seeing, okay, with the posters all around the school so far, and I'd like to acknowledge the efforts of our discipline team that's headed by Mrs. Judy Sui. Okay, I know many of you have seen the posters on the Principal's Challenge, and you have been asking what exactly is the Principal's Challenge all about. And some of you have come forward to me to ask me about it and says that you'd like to challenge me. Now, the principal's challenge is not about challenging the principal, okay? So the principal's challenge is really a competition, all right, that is about seeing who is the best at sport stacking. There is a trailer that will be running during recess, so I encourage you to take a look at what the principal's challenge is about, that we have planned for the end of term 2. So that's something for you to also look forward to, and we are going to open it up, I believe, to at least from the P3s onwards to all the way to the P6s. But let's remember the focus and the purpose of the Principal's Challenge. It is not a challenge to the principal. It is a competition called the Principal's Challenge for you to practice sport stacking or cup stacking. And the aim of this activity is to help students to train three things. Number one, to train their focus. Number two, to train their perseverance. All right. And number three, to train their patience. So when you are focused, you persevere, and you are patient, you practice a lot with discipline, you will become very good at what you're doing. And this can also be applied to anything that you do, especially in your studies. Because when you are focused, you persevere, and you are patient, eventually you will be able to understand what you seek to understand in your studies or in your learning, whether it's in your CCA, in your passion, or in your hobby. So I encourage you to learn a little bit more about the sport stacking activity. I'm also learning it myself, and I'm also training my own focus, my own patience, and my own perseverance. And this ties in very nicely with our school value of resilience. It is important to develop resilience because I think that you have also seen recently about something that's not so good around the world in Europe, where we know that the country of Ukraine has been invaded by the country of Russia. For those of you who have not been catching up on the news, I encourage you to find out more about it. But we hold our own personal views about who is right and who is wrong because things are not as simple as they may be. Russia has their reasons for invading Ukraine, and Ukraine also has their own reasons for protecting themselves. But whatever it is, we must always bring the lesson back to Singapore. What will happen if somebody were ever to invade Singapore? What would you do? It is important, therefore, to build resilience so that we can always defend our country. I leave these thoughts with you, and I will see you again in school. See you.